The Elder Scrolls Online Jesters Festival has officially arrived and is running from today, March 27th, until April 3rd. It's a celebration of all things silly and goofy in ESO, and comes with some pretty decent rewards as well as double XP. While the event is fairly straightforward, I figured I'd just throw out a little guide for any players who maybe have not done this event before, or who just want some advice on how to take advantage of that double XP. So, without further ado, my name's Doc, and let's talk about it. So in order to begin actually participating in the event, you'll need to first complete the introductory quest. The easiest way to start this quest is to head into the Crown Store and find the events category. From there, you should just be able to pick up the quest and follow the instructions to complete it. After completing the intro quest, you should be rewarded with the Pie of Misrule and a purple Jester's Festival box. From there, you can head into one of the 3 Alliance starting cities. So for the Aldemary Dominion, you'll head into Volkogard in Auradon. For the Daggerfall Covenant, you'll head into Daggerfall in Glenumbra. And for the Ebonheart Pact, you'll head into Ebonheart in Stonefalls. Once you get to one of those places, you'll have access to 7 different quests. These will task you with heading to various places all over Tamriel and completing some rather interesting tasks. Upon completing your first of 7 daily quests, you'll be rewarded with a Golden Jester's Festival box and 3 event tickets. Keep in mind, this first of the day completion bonus is account-wide, meaning you can't log into another character to get more event tickets. However, every quest you complete after the first will reward you with purple Jester's Festival boxes. And I'm fairly certain that these are on a per character basis, so happy farming. That's pretty much it for how to actually complete the event. Like I said, pretty simple and straightforward. Do the intro quest, do the daily quest, get rewards, good stuff, right? Speaking of rewards, let's talk about those next. Now, I'm not super privy on the in-game economy, so I can't say for certain which items may make you rich and which ones you shouldn't care about. I can, however, at least go over the rewards with you and let you know if anything stands out. So, starting with our gold boxes, here's a list of everything you can get. As you can see, it's a whole lot. Everything from pets to costumes to mementos to furnishings and much more. What's most notable here, in my opinion, are the new unbound versions of styles and furnishings. Like I mentioned, I can't say for certain if any of these will be good moneymakers, but I would at least keep an eye out for them, because new things do tend to sell pretty well. Next up are the purple boxes, and here's everything they can contain. So, not quite as lucrative as the gold boxes, to be expected, but as you can see, you can get those new unbound furnishing items from the purple boxes. So, again, I'd keep an eye out for those, and happy farming. Next, let's talk about the vendors, because we're going to want to spend those event tickets. First, we'll start with the Impresario, and on screen right now you can see everything you can buy from them as well as their costs. Feel free to pause the video at any of these points if you want to get a closer look. I'll also be linking the article I got this information from as well if you want to read it for yourself. Next, we've got the Events Merchant Assistant, and here's everything they're selling. Some pretty familiar, but also decent stuff to buy here if you don't typically do a lot of events. For our last vendor, we've got the Indrik vendor, and here's what they're selling. I've never really been into the Indrik stuff, but I know some people really love the Indriks in this game, so I figured you'd probably want to see it. Finally, we have the Crown Store items, and here is a list of everything you can find in the Crown Store. As of right now, I do not know what the prices will be for these items, or whether they'll maybe have any special deals or anything like that for ESO Plus members or whatever. Though, if you just bought some crowns, or maybe your ESO Plus renewed recently, might be a good time to use them. Just a thought. That was it for the actual rewards, and we'll finish up this video by talking about my favorite reward, the double XP. With this year's Jester's Festival comes the global passive double XP buff, meaning all XP you gain towards your level or skills will be doubled. This also stacks with things like XP scrolls, Psijic Ambrosia, racial passives, and just anything else that increases XP gain. With the event only being around for 1 week, it doesn't leave you a whole lot of time to make use of that double XP, so let's talk about some methods of grinding out some levels that you can use to get some skills or characters leveled up. If you've been around the channel or the game for a while, you're probably pretty familiar with these, so I won't go too in-depth, but I do still want to mention them. So the first is the Alakir Dolmens. This is a classic, very simple way to level up. These are extremely new player friendly. While this is not the fastest way to level up by any means, it's still pretty solid, especially if you don't have a good build to tackle some of the other farming methods on this list. All you have to do is ride from dolmen to dolmen, following the route and getting some hits on the mobs that spawn. You'll get a good chunk of XP, good enough that, while the event may only last a week, you probably could at least level a couple of alts from 1 to 50 if you find yourself with some free time. Next is mob farming. Another simple way to level, but requires a little more build finesse. Popular spots include Skyreach Catacombs, Spellscar, Sentinel Beach, and more. One of the nice things about this method is that different areas will cater to different kinds of players. If you've got a pretty solid build going and you know you can handle it, maybe try out Skyreach. If you're perhaps on the newer side and you're concerned about being able to take on some tough enemies, maybe head to Sentinel Beach and fight some zombies there. Next is Black Rose Prison, widely considered to be the fastest XP grind in the game, but also the most difficult. You could bring a new character to level 50 in a very short amount of time using this method. The idea is that you head into normal Black Rose Prison and repeat the second wave of the first area over and over by letting the final mob of that second wave defeat you. Once you respawn, the wave will begin again and you repeat the process. While this is not a new player-friendly method by any means, you could always team up with a friend or even a carry service if that's your thing, and have them fight the mobs for you. I also want to throw in a little bonus right here. Don't forget to do your daily dungeons and your battlegrounds. You get a pretty big chunk of XP for your first completion of those on a per character basis, so with the event double XP and some sort of scroll or ambrosia, you're looking at an insane amount of XP just from spending 10 or 15 minutes in a dungeon or a battleground. And there we have it! That's everything you need to know about ESO Jesters Festival in 2025. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful. A special thanks to ESO Hub for the written guide whose screenshots you guys saw in this video. Let me know what you guys will be getting up to during the Jesters Festival, and are there any rewards you're looking out for? Don't forget to subscribe and check out my link tree in the description so you can follow me on my socials and join my Discord server. As usual, I also want to thank my Patreon members Dylan Stewart and Sharni Lee, as well as my YouTube member Austin Anderson. Thank you guys for your continued support, and you guys are the best. Finally, I think all I've got left to say is that I've been Doc. Take care of yourselves, be good to others, stay silly, and I will catch y'all in the next one.